Hey y'all, and welcome to my channel, Kitchen Notes from Nancy. If you're new here, I'd like to welcome you to our neighborhood, and I hope you decide to subscribe before you leave today. And if you're already a member of our neighborhood, I'd like to greet you with the customary, hey neighbor. In today's video, I have a special treat for you. Today, we are learning how to make Southern-style fried catfish. Yeah, buddy. So, if you want to learn how to make this super crispy, ultimate golden catfish, all you got to do is stay tuned. Hey, and guys, don't forget, go ahead and smash that like button for me. Now, let's hop into it. Alright, y'all, so let's hop into the ingredients for this Southern-style fried catfish. So, of course, you're going to need some catfish fillets. And the way that I cook my fish, you can do this with any kind of fish. You can do it with trout. You can do it with freshwater fish like bass, brim, things like that. You know, so this method works for all of those. But tonight, I am using some good old catfish. Because we're frying, you're going to need some oil. I'm using vegetable oil. You can use canola oil. You can use peanut oil. All of those things. For my seasonings, I'm going to keep it pretty traditional tonight. And I have some lemon pepper. You can't have seafood without Old Bay. And then I'm going to do some Slap Your Mama Cajun seasoning. Now, for our breading, and let me tell you, true Southern fish, we don't use wet breading. We use a dry breading. So there is no egg. There is none of this. And it's going to turn into some crispy, golden, beautifully delicious fish. So I have cornmeal and just a little bit of flour. And I'm going to show you how to measure that out. You're going to use mostly cornmeal. So we're going to go ahead and start prepping this fish. And we're going to hop right into it. Now, at this point, while we're prepping our fish, go ahead and get your oil on the stove. And when we move over there, you'll see that I'm going to use cast iron tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and put some oil on so that while we're prepping this fish, that oil can get good and hot. All right, so let's get into this. I've opened up my catfish and I had 3 fillets. I rinsed them and I just took a paper towel and kind of dabbed them dry. Now, you could leave your fish whole like this, but I actually like to cut my catfish into strips. And I actually learned this from a friend of mine a long time ago, and he used to always cut his fish like this. And so I got to where I really like the smaller strips. And you can still make a fish sandwich or anything with it is still perfectly fine. So what I typically do is I cut down one of the ridges and create like smaller pieces like this. If you didn't know that they were whole fillets, they almost look like catfish nuggets. And so basically it just turns one piece into 4 smaller pieces. And I've just gotten to where I prefer to have my fish like that. You don't have to do this extra step if you don't want to. This here is just a personal preference when it comes to how I like to eat mine. So this step can easily be omitted if you would like to. So we're going to go ahead and get these cut down. And then we're going to start our seasoning process. I'll leave that one like that. Alright. So for seasoning, for seasoning, I just lay them on back out. I'm going to rinse my hands real quick and then I'm going to start handling my seasonings. All right. So tonight, we're gonna do a little Cajun seasoning. And like I said, you season your fish to your liking. This Cajun seasoning has salt in it, and so does Old Bay, and so does my lemon pepper. So that's why you don't see any salt, because all the salt that I need is contained in these. Then we're gonna go in with some lemon pepper. And you don't have to use lemon pepper, but y'all know, like, lemon pepper and seafood just goes together. All right, so then I flip it over. And in the words of Stovetop Kisses, we season both sides because we eat both sides. So yes, you are going to season your fish on both sides. I'm sure she doesn't even need a shout out. Like, she has way more subscribers than me, but I actually love that channel. I love her personality. It's so funny. She is hilarious when she cooks. And she is actually born and raised from a town not too far from Tuscaloosa, which is where I live. She's from Birmingham, I believe. All right. So we have our fish seasoned up. Now, you don't have to do this step, but I do. I just take it, kind of give it a good roundabout. I want all my seasonings on there, you know? Like, I want my fish good and seasoned. All right, so here's our fish. Let me rinse my hand back off. So for this next step, you're going to need a plastic bag. So what I do is, I told you you're gonna take mostly cornmeal. So this is about 1/4 of a cup scoop. So I'm gonna take 2 scoops of cornmeal, and then I'm just gonna take a little bit, like this much, y'all. That's a scoop and this much, and a little bit of flour, just a little bit. Now you're gonna shake that bag up and get that cornmeal and flour. Now you can buy flavored fish fries, but I'm gonna be honest with you, they're nothing but cornmeal with a little seasoning in there. So you can buy fish fry if you want to, but honestly, this is like making your own fish fry. So I got my fish seasoned, and here's my flour. Because I season my fish so heavily, I'm not going to put flour in my batter. I mean, I'm not going to put any seasoning in my batter. If I was doing chicken, I would. But when I do fish, I just don't. And now all we're gonna do is give it a good old shake. Southern cooking, and there is no bowl and take a bowl and dip it, and no, we're not doing any of that. This is gonna be beautifully golden fried. All right, so once you shaking it all up, this is how you want your fish coated, like this. So we're gonna sit this to the side. I just let it sit in the bag while I clean my mess up. And then by the time I clean up, my fish grease should be hot. All right, so here we are over our fish. Over our grease. Now, I know that my grease is hot. I've had it on long enough to know that it is hot. Now, when you're frying fish, you want this grease hot, but you don't want it too hot. So, the way we test it, and I showed y'all this little trick before. Take you a little bit of your cornmeal, and you see how that sizzles. That's how you know that grease is ready. All right. So now you just take your pieces. Make sure, like I said, that they're good and coated. And you're gonna shake off any excess breading. You know, shake it off before you put it in. And you see how that sizzled as soon as it hit that grease? That's what you want. That's what you want to see. This is about to be some straight up good eating. Now, I'm probably going to cook it in 2 batches. You don't want to crowd your pan. You want to give it enough space to do its thing. So I'm not going to crowd it. We're going to do 2 batches. Gonna talk about me, but it's okay, because when I'm frying fish, y'all, I just flip it over with a fork. Yeah, you can use tongs, you can do all of that, but I just do it the old school way and flip it over with a fork. And make sure you check out yesterday's fried cabbage video. I did a remake on that, so be sure to go check that out. And this I forgot to tell you, this is on a medium heat. And you're gonna let each side fry for about 2 to 3 minutes. My grease is pretty deep, so that it's almost kind of frying both sides initially. So I'm gonna do probably about 3 minutes on each side. You're looking for a nice golden brown. You're looking for a nice golden brown. And y'all, this fish smells so good. I know y'all get tired of me saying that, but Southern cooking, it just smells so good. Alright, so now you're going to go ahead and flip it over. And as I told you before, you flip it over in basically the order that you put it in the pan. That way you can ensure it all has about the same amount of cook time. Ooh, look at there. Alright, and now we're going to let this side go for about 3 minutes. Okay, so drain my fish on a rack. I use a paper towel. So I am going to use a spatula to get it out of here. I'm not going to show y'all how country I just really am. You want to drain as much of that grease off as you can. Oh, man down. Alright, and for this second batch, we're just going to do the same exact thing.
You edited this out, of course.
Of course. And from here, you're just going to repeat the same process as initially. I'm going to put a clip of the final product at the end of the video. But as always, thank y'all so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give me a like at the bottom. Share this video with a friend. Y'all are really, that's what helps me grow. Liking this video is a way to support me without having to spend a single dollar. And y'all do such a great job of supporting me. So until next time, Bye, neighbors.